ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Now, water potential can be calculated by taking into the account of solute potential plus pressure potential. So, we take water potential of water and again try to remember the point. Water movement always occurs from where to where? Water movement always occurs from higher water potential to higher. Let me write complete statement because you have to remember this. Water movement always occurs from higher water potential to lower water potential. Higher water potential to a lower water potential. Right? So, we have discussed water potential, we discussed solute potential, pressure potential. Some pressure is applied for the water movement, maybe solute molecules can create some potentiality on the pressure on the water, and ultimately we can calculate the potentiality of the water depends upon the solute molecules what are being added to the water, and also depends upon the pressure what is being applied onto the plant cell. Because why I wrote again water movement occurs from higher water potential to lower water potential. Guys, here we need to do some numerical problems. For numerical problems you have to remember, you will get some values if you calculate water potential. At that time you have to take the highest value, and from that value of the cell water moves to the lowest water potential value of the cell. So, this is important to remember. So, this you have to apply when you do the numerical from one cell to other cell. For example, let us take 3 cells are there. Later I will give you some problems, numerical problems I will give you later. For example, let us take cell A, cell B and cell C. So, there is a continuous movement of water is happening. So, where to where movement is happening. For example, they will give you the value solute potential. So, they will give the value solute potential, pressure potential for A and B and C. 3 cells are there. This they will not give you in the question, they will give in the question in the theory form. After understanding the theory form, you have to note down clearly. For example, solute potential of A is given it as a minus 0.6, B is given it as minus 12, and this is given it as minus 0.4. Okay, and pressure potential values is given it as 1.5 or maybe 2.6, or maybe you can take some 0.9. Okay, so these are the values are given. For cell A, solute potential value is 0.6, pressure potential value is 1.5. For what? For cell A, this is cell A, cell B, and let us take cell C. Right, and for B, solute potential is minus 0.12, pressure potential applied is 2.6. For C, minus 0.4 plus 0.9. Then they will ask you to find out water movement occurs from where to where. Water movement, they will ask you to find out the direction of water movement. They will ask you to find out direction of water movement. Now, how do you calculate this? So, let us take one more line here and let us calculate what is called water potential. What is water potential? Water potential can be calculated, so solute potential plus pressure potential. So, tell me for A, for cell A if you take, what is the water potential value? Solute potential is minus 0.6 plus 1.5. Then how much you will get here? Approximately 0.9. 0.9 you will get it as a plus value. Yeah, and similarly you have to write here 0.9. Similarly for cell B, what is the water potential value? Solute potential, you know it, right? So, this is nothing but solute potential plus pressure potential. So, what the value you will get for B here? Minus 0.12 plus 2.6 how much you will get? Let us take 1.2 as 1 only here. Then approximately you will get in this 0.1, if you remember, 2.5. 2.5 means 2.48. Some change you will get, 2.48. Similarly, this is 2.48. And for cell C, let us take some value. Let us take, this is also, pressure is also minus 0.9. Let us take some minus value here. Okay, so here what you will get for water potential? Minus 0.4 minus 0.9, plus into minus is minus. Then how much you will get? So here you will get approximately 1.3, right? Yeah, minus 1.3. So you will get minus 1.3, that is water potential value. These all are water potential values, right? Now where to where the movement happens here now? See here, which one has the lowest, highest water potential? This has the highest water potential. So I can write here, this water potential of A is given it as 0.9, B is given it as 2.48 and C is given it as water potential value minus 1.3. Right. Now water always moves from higher water potential to lower water potential. So which one has highest water potential? Highest water potential is for what you find? Highest water potential is for B. Highest water potential is for B, right? And the lowest water potential is, next to highest water potential is what? A. And next to water potential is what? C. That means lowest water potential you find for C. Lowest water potential you find for C. That means water always moves from where to where? Higher water potential to lower water potential. There is a movement to talk like B to A, and A has higher water potential when compared with C. So the movement occurs from A to C. Yes or no? Or the movement also occurs. Where is other possibility? Let me write very clearly. What is the other possibility you have? So here the B to A is coming. B is having higher water potential, C is having lowest water potential. The movement also occurs from B to C. Okay. So from B to A, water moves here. Water is moving from where to where? B to A. A is having higher water potential when compared with C. So from A to C movement occurs. Right, and also B is having higher water potential, C is having lower water potential. The movement occurs from B to C. So what are the options you have to look for? The answer for this options you have to, what options you have to look for? What is the answers for this? Either you can take the direction as B to A to C you can take, or you can take B to A option is also correct, B to C option is also correct. Suppose for this question, if all the above is given, then you have to go for the all the above. Yes or no? So option number 1, 2, 3, 4 are there, because movement occurs from B to A to C, B to A occurs, B to C also occurs, then you can take all the above. Suppose C to A or C to B, any of the options are given, then you have to take the option as this, B to A to C. Right. So here the direction of movement of water, remember, occurs from higher water potential to lower water potential. Based on that you can calculate what is called water potential values. Based upon the water potential values you can draw the directional movement of water from which cell to which cell. But for that, sometimes what happens in the numerical question, that water potential value will be given, pressure potential value will be given, they'll ask you to find out what is called solute potential. Don't worry guys, we'll solve some of the numerical problems. I'll give you later some numerical problems on water potential. Basically you have to remember two things. Okay guys, I hope it's clear. For the coming classes, I will give you numerical problems, numerical questions for water potential. At that time, you have to remember two things. What are the two important points to remember? Water potential can be calculated by taking water potential is equal to solute potential plus pressure potential. And remember, you have to remember a water movement occurs from higher water potential to lower water potential. So, accordingly, you can see direction of water movement, that is from B to A to C, and also B to C. I hope you understood this, right? Let us continue. Right. Now, let us go with the process osmosis. Let us continue with the topic osmosis. So, guys, we discussed diffusion, we discussed facilitated diffusion, then passive transport, active transport. In passive transport, again we have three categories: symport, antiport, uniport, right. Then properties of water we discussed: water potential, solute potential and pressure potential. Now, let us discuss about what is called osmosis. So, here let me give you definition for osmosis. How do you know from lower classes you people know how to define osmosis, since from lower classes you know it very well, right. So, here I can write the movement of water from high concentration to low concentration, high concentration to low concentration, high concentration to low concentration across, we say, semi-permeable membrane or differentially permeable membrane, differentially permeable membrane. Okay, so here you can define this osmosis, and in this definition what is important is this: semi-permeable membrane or differentially permeable membrane. I say again, the movement of water. Guys, osmosis definition either you can write in terms of water or you can write in terms of solute. Okay, if it is solute, you can say what? The movement of solute from low concentration to high. Osmosis can be defined in two ways. Either it can be defined in terms of solvent or it can be defined in terms of solute. If it is defined in terms of solute or in terms of solution, then you have to write the movement of solute. If you write solute, then you have to write from low concentration to high concentration across, this will be same across semi-permeable membrane or differentially permeable membrane, then that is said to be as what is called osmosis. So, as we are discussing about the water, we are in the discussion about transport of water. That is why we are defining definition in terms of water. According to water, movement of water high to low across semi-permeable membrane. In the entire definition, what did I say? What is important? Semi-permeable membrane is important. What is important? Semi-permeable membrane. Now, if you take for example a plant cell, if you take, suppose if you take this is a plant cell. Now, you find outermost one is called cell wall. Generally, if you take the cell wall is permeable in nature. If you take the cell wall you all studied in your first year cytology. Cell wall is an outermost non-living rigid layer, strong layer, but still it is permeable in nature. What's the meaning of permeable in nature? What's the meaning of that? Permeable nature means it allows everything to go. It passes everything to transport. It allows everything to come inside. So there are so many molecules which entered inside. But after passing across the cell, after moving across the cell, who is there inside? Inside the cell membrane, what you find, it's called cell membrane, or you call plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Who is there inside the cell wall? Cell wall is there. All molecules, whatever they got here, does you think everything is allowed inside the cell membrane? No. So we say cell membrane is semi-permeable in nature. Semi-permeable means it partially allows the flow of molecules. That means out of all molecules, semi means partially, semi-permeable as per the need of the cytoplasm, as per the need of the requirement within the cell, right? So that is why we call protoplast. What is protoplast? You know, living material of the cell, it's called protoplast. Living material or living matter of the cell, it's called protoplast. So what is protoplast includes here? It includes plasma membrane plus cytoplasm. Plasma membrane plus cytoplasm constitutes living matter of the cell. Itself is called as what? Protoplast, or we call protoplasm. Alright, in cytology you studied. What is protoplasm or protoplast? Living matter of the cell. What it includes? Plasma membrane plus cytoplasm. Okay. So in this case, if you take the plasma membrane and cytoplasm, now cell membrane will not allow all molecules to pass. Partially, it allows only few molecules. Out of all molecules, it allows only few molecules. Differentially permeable. Suppose inside the cell, if acids are more in concentration, it became acidic, then it allows only bases to pass. Suppose inside the cell you find bases are more in concentration, it became basic, then it will allow only acids to pass through. Differentially, it can differentiate who is an acid, who is coming. It will not allow the acid, it allows only base. Suppose inside it is acidic is there, it will not allow acid. It finds out the difference between acid and a base. It allows only base to enter. So this is called the cell membrane property is semi-permeable or differentially permeable. Then it is called as what? Osmosis. Simply from cell to cell is diffusion. Cell to cell by membrane proteins is facilitated diffusion. Compulsory if it is a cell and cell membrane it is passing, then it is called osmosis. Okay, so what is important? Across semi-permeable membrane or differentially permeable membrane, it's important to remember in case of osmosis. Let us study continue. Osmosis, if you take, it's a type of passive transport. No doubt, it's a type of passive transport. Okay, osmosis is a type of a passive transport. So you take here, what is a passive transport? All other characteristics are same. Passive transport characteristics are same for osmosis. What do you say? It occurs along with, it occurs along with the concentration gradient. It occurs along with the concentration gradient. Along with the concentration gradient means from way to way same, high concentration to low concentration. And this is passive transport, no? So what do you say? Without energy or ATP. Without energy or ATP. So it's a passive transport along with the concentration gradient without energy or ATP. Then apart from this, if you look at osmosis, so note point you write down. Node point here, very important node point. So what is a node point which we can write here? We say that very important node point here, osmosis rate and direction of osmosis depends on concentration gradient and pressure gradient, depends upon concentration gradient and pressure gradient. Very important. These two parameters are very important. What we are discussing here, look at here. So we say osmosis rate and net direction of osmosis. What's the meaning of this? How much osmosis is taking place, osmosis rate and net direction of osmosis. Osmosis is moving from which cell to which cell? For example, again we take 3 cells, cell A, B, C. So net direction of movement of osmosis. Osmosis is moving from where to where? Which direction it is moving? The net direction of osmosis. How much osmosis rate has taken place? These two parameters depends upon two factors. That's nothing but first one is concentration gradient and pressure gradient. Where you find more concentration, there you find more rate of osmosis, and how much pressure is there, towards that direction osmosis takes place. Very important note point. Okay, note points are nothing but question getting points, right? I repeat again. So here we say osmosis rate and net direction of osmosis depends upon two factors. Which are the two factors? Concentration gradient and pressure gradient. What's the meaning of that? How much osmosis is taking place and which direction is taking place depends upon concentration. If more concentration, more rate of osmosis. If more pressure is applied, in that direction osmosis takes place. So these are the two factors to determine osmosis rate and direction of osmosis. Now if you look at experimentally, osmosis is studied with the help of an experiment in lower classes. You might have discussed this experiment. You people know definition of osmosis. So here in this experiment, we take simple experiment, potato osmometer. What do we do here? Simply you take the beaker containing water. So this is a beaker with water. Now into this beaker we placed what is called a potato. Right, take the beaker full of water here, beaker containing water here. Now into this water, in the beaker containing water, let us put what is called as potato. You all know it very well. Potato is the one which contains what? Starch. What is the reserve food material we find in case of potato? Potato contains what is called starch. So here it is fully filled with starch. Now slowly what we can do is, after some time, some part of potato can be peeled it out. What we can do here is, some part of potato, peel it out. Peel it means you remove some part of potato, because you know that potato is being covered by a layer called as what? Tunica. So potato is being covered by a layer called as what? Tunica. A brown color layer called as tunica. Remove the tunica and remove some part of starch. Then what happens here? Water here you find high water potential. Inside the potato what you find? Inside the potato what you find? High solute concentration. Yes or no? Beaker has, I will write here better, beaker, what you find here, the beaker. Beaker has, what you find here, high water potential. And what you find inside the potato? Potato has high solute potential. Okay, high solute, or you can take high solute concentration, better you can write high solute concentration. Then where to where the movement occurs? Automatically the water moves from higher water potential to potato. So water tries to percolate inside the potato. So here water totally gets added here. So water gets entered here. When water get entered here, starch get dissolved into the water, and after some time what happens, as water movement direction is in this direction, it enters here. So water is moving from higher water potential to lower water potential. Here no solute, here solute is there, right. After some time what happens, then here starch totally will get dissolved here. Now it will become totally, it becomes water, starch totally get dissolved into the water. Now it forms what? Starch solution. Here whatever starch is there, it's totally get dissolved into the water. Now what you can see here is nothing but starch solution. After some time, starch comes out along with the water and started adding into the water. Earlier direction of movement of water is like this. After some time, starch solution means starch molecules are added, or movement occurs of starch solution, movement occurs along with the water, the starch getting added. It occurs and takes place how long? Until it reaches what is called equilibrium. Okay, how long it occurs? Until it reaches the status called as what? Equilibrium. So tunica, whatever the tunica what you find here, now tunica will act as semi-permeable membrane. Tunica will act as what? Semi-permeable membrane. This is the best example for the study of the process called as osmosis. I repeat again. Take the potato, beaker containing water, put the potato inside the beaker. Now potato is being covered by tunica here. Now just peel off the upper part, remove the tunica, make one hole at one corner of the potato. Then what happens here? Beaker has higher water potential because beaker has pure water. Then potato has high solute concentration, within that you find more starch here. So water keeps moving from beaker to potato. After some time starch get dissolved here, water enters into potato in all directions across tunica also, right. So after some time starch get dissolved here, starch solution comes out of the potato, added to the beaker. That means what occurs here, it's called osmosis, and it occurs how long? Until it reaches uniform concentration of starch across the beaker. Total beaker becomes fully starch solution. It occurs until it takes place until it reaches equilibrium. So that's a good indication to study the process called as osmosis. Tunica act as semi-permeable membrane. Now experimentally they have done so many experiments, so many scientists they have done so many different experiments to study the process called as osmosis. This is a simple experiment. Let us take the scientific experiment. Osmosis can be experimentally studied by another experiment called as a Tistel funnel experiment. Tistel funnel experiment. What is the other one? A Tistel funnel experiment. So let us study that. It's here, yeah. So osmosis can be studied with the help of an experiment, the scientific experiment, that is a Tistel funnel experiment. Osmosis can be studied with the help of a Tistel funnel experiment. In this experiment what we can do here is, a beaker is taken. Now into this beaker they will keep inverted funnel like this. Now this is nothing but an inverted funnel. Simple, this funnel will be like this, funnel will be like this. This is fully filled with sucrose solution. This is filled with sucrose solution, and it's beaker. This is a beaker with water. So beaker is taken with the water. Okay, beaker is taken with water. Now when beaker is taken with the water, now into this inverted, this is actual funnel now. The funnel is filled with sucrose solution. Sucrose is mixed with water and we made it what is called sucrose solution. Now it should be covered, right? It should be covered. Then they need what is called semi-permeable membrane. Osmosis occurs through semi-permeable membrane. So in this experiment, what osmosis needs? Semi-permeable membrane. In this experiment, they have to arrange semi-permeable membrane to study the process called osmosis. So what they use it as a semi-permeable membrane. So for that what they have taken is, they took the egg, and egg they have made one hole here. To the egg they have made one hole, removed yolk and albumin. What they removed? Yellowish one. Yellowish one is yolk and white color fluid, albumin, protein, right? So they removed yellow and white fluid from the hole, and what is remaining here? What is remaining is nothing but eggshell. What is remaining here? Eggshell. Right? Now they kept that eggshell in the beaker containing dilute HCl. So they made the eggshell, they kept in a dilute HCl. What is HCl? Hydrochloric acid solution. In this HCl, when they kept, the eggshell become little brittle, and that used it as the egg membrane. Eggshell is used it as a egg membrane. Okay, from the eggshell what they have extracted is nothing but what? Egg membrane. Now that egg membrane they placed it over here. That egg membrane they placed it over here. This is egg membrane. This is egg membrane. Now this egg membrane is acting as what? Semi-permeable membrane. Simply I'll repeat again, listen carefully. So the scientist took the Tistel is the scientist. Now they have he took the egg here. Now simply generally Tistel funnels we call, but scientist Tistel, he took one egg and he kept one small hole and removed the yolk and albumin, and they take the empty eggshell. Empty eggshell is kept in dilute HCl for long time. Then what happens? It became brittle. From the eggshell, a white color thin elastic layer will come out, and that is used as a egg membrane. That is nothing but egg membrane. That is used as what is called semi-permeable membrane. That will become soft thin white layer will come, egg layer will come. That becomes like a plastic because we kept in dilute HCl, that you can elastic and you can make it, stretch it like this and put it as a membrane on the Tistel funnel. This is nothing but what we call Tistel funnel. This is called as Tistel funnel. Now when we take the Tistel funnel having sucrose solution, where it is being closed with, it's tied with egg membrane. This egg membrane is here, it is acting as a semi-permeable membrane. Now take the Tistel funnel, invert it. So like this you make it, invert it, put it like this. Like this is nothing but what we call inverted Tistel funnel. Inverted, what you find here is a Tistel funnel, right? What you find here? So here when you make it like this, a sucrose solution is taken till here. Let us take till here. Then the sucrose solution will become like this. Yes or no? After inverting it comes down. So here you can take the sucrose solution. This is nothing but sucrose solution. So here is sucrose solution. So sucrose solution is here. The moment you keep the inverted Tistel funnel, here sucrose solution inside the Tistel funnel, what you find? High solute concentration. High solute concentration. Why? Because sucrose solution is more. Inside the Tistel funnel you find high solute concentration. And beaker with water means it contains high water potential. Water has high water potential. So here water potential is more. So when high water potential is there here, water moves from where to where? Higher water potential to lower water potential. So water starts moving from all directions. Water starts across the semi-permeable membrane. What is that? Egg membrane. Across the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. So who is moving here? Water is moving, entering inside the Tistel funnel. So the movement of water across the semi-permeable membrane from higher water potential to lower water potential is called osmosis. It is referred as what? Osmosis. As a result, what happens here? After some time, the scientists observed that there is increase in sucrose solution. After some time, because of movement of water, how do we come to know that water is entering? After some time we can see there is an increase in sucrose solution. Sucrose solution got increase. Sucrose solution increases. There is an increase in sucrose solution. That's an indication that water is moving from higher water potential to lower water potential across semi-permeable membrane. This is called as what? Osmosis. This is called osmosis. So sucrose is getting dissolved into water. Sucrose dissolved in water. Dissolves in water. It gets dissolves in water and there will be increase in sucrose solution, right? And finally what happens that you can see there is a decrease in water in beaker. So that's an indication that after some time what happens? There is a decrease in content of water. So like this. Okay, that's an indication that there is a decrease in content of water within the beaker. It's a good experiment to study what is called osmosis. After some time, what they have done is into the same this Tistel funnel. After some time, they applied the pressure. After some time, they have applied the pressure. So what did they did after some time? So when you take the same thing, I am drawing it again here. But little some condensing the size to write the matter over there, or let me write here. So after some time what you can see here is now there is a decrease in water. Water has come down here. So let us take the pistil funnel is here like this. Right. So water level is very less. So there is a decrease in water level. Earlier it is like this up to here. Let us take, there is a decrease in water level. Water level has come down. Earlier up to here, the water level has come down. Then what happens? Inside who is there? Inside sucrose solution is there. Fully it is being occupied by sucrose solution. Now in the experiment part what they have done is, from the upper side they applied the piston. From the upper side they applied what is called piston. So a piston is applied. When piston is applied from upper side here, it created some pressure. So what is applied here? A pressure is applied. They took some piston from the upper side of the Tistel tunnel, they made the hole and slowly they applied what is called piston. So when piston is applied, some rod like structure, when the piston is applied here, what happens here? the sucrose solution whatever is present here, it comes down. So when piston is applied like this, let us take up to here, what happens now? Sucrose solution forcefully it comes out. Sucrose solution now, instead of moving in this direction, now sucrose solution starts moving in this direction. Why? The pressure is applied. The pressure what is applied here, it's called osmotic pressure. The pressure what is applied is called osmotic pressure. OP we call osmotic pressure. So it creates the pressure. Because of pressure, sucrose solution what you find here starts moving in opposite direction. So what is coming out here? Sucrose solution. Sucrose solution added to beaker. Solution added to beaker. So along with the sucrose, means along with the water, who is coming here? Sucrose is also entered into the beaker. Then there is an increase in solution level in beaker. Again what happens after some time? Again within the beaker, the solution level increases. Why it increases? Water is coming along with the sucrose molecules. Now sucrose molecules evenly they come out along with the across the semi-permeable membrane, right, and they get distributed equally to all directions along with the water within the beaker. How long it occurs? Until it reaches what is called equilibrium. It happens until it reaches equilibrium. Now what is happening here? What the pressure applied on the process called osmosis is called osmotic pressure. But this osmotic pressure OP, it making the movement of sucrose solution, means potentiality, ability of the sucrose to move, it's called as osmotic potential. It creates what is called osmotic potential. Now how much pressure you create, that much potentiality is there for the osmosis to occur. Okay, how much pressure you apply, that much is the potentiality or the ability of the osmosis to move sucrose solution from the inverted pistil to the beaker. The pressure what you apply here is equal to potential. So osmotic pressure is equal to osmotic potential. But here signs are opposite. Signs are opposite. How they are opposite here? Osmotic pressure is positive. Remember, very important. Osmotic potential is negative. Very important. Last conclusion point is osmotic pressure is equivalent to osmotic potential. Osmotic pressure is positive, osmotic potential is negative. How much pressure you apply, that much is the potentiality of the osmosis rate to take place. Even though both are equal at the equilibrium, but signs are opposite. This point is important. Osmotic pressure is a positive pressure, osmotic potential is a negative potential. This is nothing but distil funnel experiment. I will just give you a quick review here. Osmosis, just take the beaker containing water, put the inverted distil funnel, inside you find sucrose solution, in the beaker you find water. How water is moving? Water is moving from the beaker to distil funnel. Water movement occurs, there is a decrease in water in the beaker and increase in solution in the sucrose. So across the semi-permeable membrane, here egg membrane is acting as a semi-permeable membrane, it is called osmosis. After some time what happens? When piston is being applied, when piston is kept on the top of the distil funnel, when it is pushed down, piston makes the sucrose solution to move. Some pressure is applied, is called osmotic pressure. With that, potentiality, ability to move particles from the distil funnel into the beaker. The potentiality of osmosis is called osmotic potential. How much pressure you apply, that much osmosis takes place. That means osmotic pressure is equal to osmotic potential, but signs are different. Signs are opposite. Osmotic pressure is a positive pressure, osmotic potential is negative, even though both are equal. This is the final conclusion part of distil funnel experiment in osmosis. Yeah.